Okay, hi there guys, so welcome back to the channel. As promised, we will be doing a video of our equipment. I'll be showing you all the equipment that I've got, telling you a little bit about our second-hand equipment, what to look out for, and giving you a general rule of advice as to what the equipment is and what we're going to be using it for. Okay, so hi there guys and welcome back. So just had a quick look at some of our equipment. Now I'll be showing you what the equipment is and what we're going to be using it for. Okay, so right here I have my primary fermenter. Now my primary fermenter has a thermometer on there and it has a scale that goes from 5 litres all the way up to 23. Now what this is going to be used for is obviously fermenting my beer. So a lot of people who start off like to brew up to about 23 litres, and also some of the kits do recommend that you do 23 litres too. Now what I will be doing personally is I'll be brewing in about 20.5 litres. Now I say 20.5 because of the fact you do tend to lose roughly about half a litre whilst you're fermenting, because the gases heat up the liquid, whilst the yeast is also in there. The heat evaporates the liquid and you lose about half a litre during fermentation, so that's why I'll be doing that. Also it'll help the ABV be a little bit higher and should actually help improve the flavour too. So with the thermometer it's important to have one of these because of the fact you will be adding hot water to begin with, almost nearly boiling I suppose. Now I think it's roughly about 4 litres, possibly 4 pints, don't quite know that. Still quite new to this guys, so haven't done one yet, I'll have to relate that. So yes, this is rather important. It's also important that you keep an eye on the temperature because of the fact you'll be needing to leave it between 16 to 18 degrees Celsius. Some kits are a little bit higher, some kits are a little bit lower, but generally the rule of thumb is between about 16 and 18 degrees Celsius. So, another part I'm going to talk to you about is the lid. Now the lid here, well, exactly what it says on the tin, sits on the bucket. Now, this bit here is important. This goes into the lid. This is a rubber airlock grommet. Now the grommet is sitting in a hole that is drilled in the lid. To put this in, I decided to use some hot water. I left it in the hot water for about 10 to 15 minutes, allowed the rubber to relax, rammed it in there. When it cooled down it created a nice tight seal because obviously rubber expands and it contracts. Expands when it's hot, contracts when it's cold. So that's why I did it. Now this, as you can imagine, the bung goes with this, which is the airlock. Now the airlock is used to help extract any gas pressure building up in your beer. Now all it's going to be doing is pushing all the gas all the way up here into this little U-bend here. Now this little U-bend, which is just between there and there, will be filled with either water, or it can be filled with some sanitizers such as Star San, or it can be filled with some spirits, believe it or not. Like, so I have seen people fill it with vodka, which is, so if you're brewing, alcohol is what you're trying to achieve. Alcohol can help too, you know. So what that is going to be doing is, as the air is going to be pushed into here, all the pressure is going to be pushing air out and out of this top here. And that's going to stop, the water is going to stop any oxygen getting back in and infecting your beer, or oxidising your beer, which in all honesty you don't want because you sort of ruin your beer there. Now it doesn't have a lid. You don't necessarily need a lid. The lid is really to stop sort of like small insects from getting in and possibly contaminating your beer. But in all honesty, when you've got water, vodka, sanitizer, something, we've got mostly water in here, then they'll probably drown in it. They won't get into your beer. Your beer should be fine, which is fantastic. Now, that's my primary fermenter that you can see in the background. And I do apologise if you can't see it, and I do apologise that I've gone out of the picture, but I have to show you this. Now this is a wide neck wine fermenter, but I will be using it, well, for both those purposes, making wine, and it will be used as my bottling bucket. Now what I did is, as I got this second hand, it didn't have a hole in here, as you can see. It did have the marking though. Now I measured this, and this hole here was 25mm. Now what I decided to do is I got myself a tap, and I picked this off for eBay for about £3. just go grab it and show you guys now. So this is my tap. Now this fits inside. Oh, that's the hole then. right, this fits in there. So this will have a bottling wand attached to it. When my beer is finished in the prime fermenter, it will be siphoned into here with my tap screwed into there, not too tight. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Taps on the fermenters and pressure barrels too. So not too tight, and we will also be plugging in our bottling wand, which will help us to bottle a beer. Now we do have with this another hole in the top. I haven't measured it, so I can't give the measurement. I do apologise, but this fits the bung. You can get pre-drilled bungs, and you can also get non-drilled bungs. Now the bungs fit an airlock, which again, if you're wine fermenting, you'll still need, and it will just do exactly what I explained about. It will help the gas pressure be released and stopping the oxygen getting into your wine and possibly contaminating it and ruining it. So put this back. Tell you what I'll do, I'll unscrew the lid. I do apologise you see my back, I know it's not really very fair, but I'll show you exactly what I'm on about. So this is our bung. As you can see, it is pre-drilled. This will fit inside of there, like so. Ta-da! Like a glove. Happy days, nice snug fit. Give it a little bit of a push and a tiny little bit of twist just to lock it in. And ta-da! All sorted. Smash it in. So that is what that does there. Just put that on there. Happy days. Now, whilst I remember, I will show you my bottling wand. Now this is the bottling wand. This is going to be fitting onto the tap. The tap, which was actually, the tap here, this little part here, does have electrical tape on. Now, in all honesty, this bit was a little bit too wide to fit on there, so it did slip, which is not really what I wanted. So, to make it fit, put a little bit of electrical tape on. The great thing about electrical tape is it's waterproof, so it's fine, smashing job. So as you can see, we're just going to push them on, give them a little bit of a twist, like so, and as you can see, we have one bottling device. Now we do have this little valve and pin here, so when you put your bottle in, this will shoot up. I'll just bring it a little bit closer to the camera, like so. That will allow all your beer to fill up to your bottle. You take it off and it slides back down again. And also, as you can see, we do have a little black rubber grommet. Now I honestly do not know if these come off, and I don't know if you can get little replacements for them. I haven't checked, so I do apologise about that. I should imagine you should, but it is worth checking. One thing I did discover, as this is a second-hand kit, is I did have a tap before. Now the tap before actually didn't have the backing nut, which I'm currently unscrewing and going to show you guys now. So it came with with the tab, and it came with two of these, which are the seals, which the reason why I say don't over tighten them is because if you ever tighten them into your pressure barrel or your secondary fermenter or your wine fermenter, whatever, you can knacker these up, and it's not something you want to do because in all honesty it could lead to leaking out beer or wine and even pressure. Especially if you've got pressure barrel, if you're putting primary sugar in there, if it's knackered, you'll lose pressure and it's not great. Your beer's going to go flat, it's going to taste like pants, so not what you want. So yes, these, I've looked bloody everywhere, you cannot get replacements as far as I know. If you're watching and you can get a replacement, fantastic, leave a link, leave a description as to where you can get one from, because in all honesty I've got a spare tab. I think it's a bit of a shame to chuck it away, I'd like to keep it, but yeah, try not to lose these. If it's damaged you will have to buy a new tab, because that's what I had to do. Like I said, it's only £3, but at the end of the day, still £3 that could be going towards another brew kit. So we'll just put that on there, put that to one side. Now, next on our list we'll be talking about siphons. I'm just going to show you a simple siphon that came with the kit. Now this is the siphoning part. We have a sediment trap there. That will allow the sediment to be trapped in there and help stop it getting into your beer. And this is the tube. This will be attached to your sediment trap. So we're just gonna put that in there. Go on, you little bugger. There we go. Fantastic. So the idea is you put this to the bottom of the bucket, give this little piece here a good old suck, all your beer comes up here, out of the tube, and hey presto, you either goes into your bottle or your secondary fermenter, or your pressure barrel, and happy days. That siphons the beer out. Now, you can pick these up from Wilkinson's, I think they're about £3, and they do come with a tap. Mine didn't come with a tap, but in all honesty, this is just a simple bit of tubing. So, another thing we're going to talk about is this simple bit of tubing. This is a fantastic thing to have, because of the fact, if you're doing a beer that has a rather vigorous fermentation, it could cause problems with your airlock. So, what many people do is they decide to do an overflow pipe, which this will be going into the hole of my fermenter, my primary fermenter. I'll take the rubber bung out that holds the airlock. This will be going in replacement of that hole. You go into another bottle full of it will be full of water, be sanitized, cleaned, happy days, and that will allow all the gases to come out and go into there, and also stop oxygen going back in, hence why you put it into water. So that will work for things like wheat beers and stuff like that. They can have a rather vigorous fermentation, so just look out for that, guys. Our other siphon that we're talking about is our autosiphon. Hey, now these are about, I believe these are about £16 brand new. Like I said, I got my kit second hand, so I got it all included for the price I paid, which was only about £40, which is quite good. So yeah, this works a little bit differently. I mean, you put this into the bottom of your fine fermenter, go a 1 and a 2, and then your beer comes up the tube and into your desired bottles, secondary fermenter, or your barrel. So this is the cap that goes onto the sediment trap there. Another thing to watch out for these guys is the fact that you have another little rubber gasket. Now, there's a possibility that over time this can get worn and could get knackered and might not work properly. You can get replacements for these, so just keep an eye out, guys. So yeah, they're not very expensive as far as I know, but these do work really, really well. I have tried it. It seems to work fantastically. John Clare, yeah, back. So I'm just going to put you back into there. What should we have next? Yes, we shall. Right, these are my sanitising tablets, or sterilising tablets. So these are little angels, sterilising tablets that will sterilise baby bottles. You need, from what I've read, I think it's 1 tablet per 4 litres of water for homebrew. As you can see, these come from Asda. Now, Asda online actually do say that you can use these for beer and wine making. They only have the instructions to use these for beer and wine making online. They don't have them on the box. These are actually little bleach tablets. Now, the reason why I've got these is because, in all honesty, they're 75 pence a pack. Can't really go wrong. Bleach is a good thing to sterilise your kit with. You can use it, but you have to be sensible with it. You do have to wash it out. I mean, in all honesty, this isn't one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, chuck it in, leave it half an hour. It'll be fine. You can use it. You can use all your equipment straight away. No. To be safe, whenever you're using bleach, you do see people using bleach. I mean, there's mixtures of bleach and vinegar, and also you can use bleach and washing up liquid. Not really what I fancied. I fancied going for something that was properly measured out and actually had the instructions to go off. Yeah, so I'll be using one of these in 4 litres of water, leaving it for about half an hour, and I'll be washing it out straight away, scrubbing it, making sure there's no bleach residue and no bleach in it, because I don't want bleach in my beer, because nobody wants that, because it would taste like pants. So we're going to put that back, and we're going to get our glass thermometer. Glass thermometer here, it's exactly the same thing as a normal thermometer, well, thermometer on my primary vessel. Just the fact it goes up a little bit higher, as you can see, it goes all the way up. You might be able to see it. Can you see up to about 100 degrees? At the moment, it is sitting at about 22, but I have also got my fingers at the bottom just to hold it securely and show you guys. So this actually has an immersion light. You can actually use it for measuring the temperature of your beer or your wine. Now, I'm actually using this really to measure the room temperature, so I know what the room temperature is, and I also know what room I can put my beer in to ferment, which is fantastic. Put that back. Now, this time I've got two items. I've got my trial jar and I've got my turkey baster. My turkey baster will be, all of this has to be clean and sterilised, guys. Everything that comes in contact with your beer, like I said, has to be clean and sterilised. You've got many sterilisers out there. You've got ones that are sold on brewing websites. You've got ones that, well, like I said, you can use baby sterilisers and stuff. That tends to work just as good. Yeah, so I'll be using these to measure my beer. Usually, actually, I'll be using these to measure for my hydrometer reading. I'll be plugging this into my fermenter, go filling it up, going filling it up like that. And this is the other part, guys. That's where this little beauty comes into. So, we've just used our turkey baster. We filled this up to, say, about 80 ml. We're going to get out our hydrometer. Now this will sit in here, and this will tell us what our original gravity is of our beer. Now, it's very important that you take an original gravity reading. Without an original gravity reading, it's going to make life a lot harder, almost impossible to actually figure out what kind of percentage of alcohol you have at the end. You've got to take two readings. You need an original gravity reading and you need a final gravity reading. Also, it's not just important for that, it's also really important to test if your fermentation has ended. Because if you leave it for about 7 to 10 days and think, oh yeah, it'll be fine, I'll bottle it, especially for batch priming or just using something like half a spoonful of sugar in your bottles, it could possibly cause you bottle bombs or over carbonate your beer, especially in the pressure barrel or something like that. It could turn it cidery, which is not really what you want, especially if you're doing something like a lager. You know, you don't really want a cidery lager, it's going to taste like pants. So, with the hydrometer, I will be doing a separate video on this, guys, to try and teach people how a hydrometer works. I'm not 100% myself, but I will give you a little tip. Now, to measure your hydrometer, well, to actually make sure your hydrometer is working, we're going to do this. We're going to fill the trial jar with some water, and it should be reading about 1,000, which is the reading you get when water. We're going to dip it in, and we're going to dip it in on that, and we're just going to spin around like so. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. I do apologise if you can't see it. It might be a bit hard. But that should be reading about 1,000, bang on 1,000, which it is, which is really good. So that means our hydrometer is working. So that, yes, that's one way to test to make sure that your hydrometer is working. So you can get one and it could be fine, but you never really know. So it's always best to test. Put that back in there. Put that in. Smashing. Don't you fall. It did fall. Thumbs up. Now there you can get those from Wilkinson's. I do believe they're about, I think, £3 a grade. Don't quote me on those, double check. Obviously all homebrewing sites, they do them too. They're fantastic. So our next bit of kit is our crown capper. Now this is a very nice bit of kit. This will be put in the caps on our bottles. So you do get these from Wilkinson's too. You don't get necessarily this model. They don't do this model. They do their own. It's made in Italy. It's black. You've got two massive black lumps on. It has this bit is a metallic. Well, is a magnet. You put the cap on top of it and put it over your bottle and you go bang. That's the Wilkinson's one, not this one. The Wilkinson's one isn't really great. Apparently the magnet that is about here sometimes it doesn't work properly. I've known some people have said that it's twisted, it hasn't quite gripped the bottle properly because of the fact you've got just these metal jaws here. You haven't got any like this. This has got lumps of plastic to help grip the bottle. You don't have those on there, on the Wilco's bottler, which is a bit of a pain in the backside. And I have actually seen, I believe I've seen it on Homebrew UK on Facebook, but someone, or it was possibly the Wilco website, someone tried to put a crown cap using the Wilco bottler, and it was on Corona bottle, and it smashed the bottle, which wasn't good. So they weren't very impressed with that. Now this, I don't really know what kind it is. I think it might be a Cooper's. I think it might be. I have looked on eBay, I can't remember off the top of my head. Now, this one is, like I said, like that. You can see what's going on. You plug on your bottle, hey presto. It goes like that. It's really simple. It's fantastic piece of kit. If I can get my bloody words out, crikey. So yeah, that is my capper. Now, I'll also show you my amazing magic spoon, which we all know what a spoon does. You pull it into your beer, you go la 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 la, mix it all up, hey presto. I think it's about 18 inches, so yeah, you can get those. Workers do those. I think they're about £1, possibly £1.50. Getting on the internet, getting on eBay. eBay and Gumtree are really good. In all honesty, a lot of people do use paddles. Paddles do tend to work a bit better. Pardon me. But yeah, I'm just starting out. My second-hand spoon, that'll do me. Now, I'll also be showing you. So I've gone off camera, guys. I do apologise about this. Some of the bits, well, just two. And I'm back. So I got a bottle brush. Again, really simple piece of kit. You put it into your bottle, give it a bit of a twist, scrub it around. You should have loosen all the dirt in your bowl. I'll get that sanitation in there, clean it out, and you presto, all done. Like that there. Beer bannings. Now I bought these from Wilco's. It says to store in a cool and dry place, which I've been doing. This will also help reduce the sediment in your beer, which is really quite nice. I've also got a little bag. Now this is going to come handy when I decide to do some dry hopping. Now the idea is to dry hop, you can have about 3 to 4 days into fermentation. You put some hops into this bag. This bag has to be sterilised again. It's going to come in contact with your brew guys. It's got to be sterilised. You put that into, you put your hops into your bag, tie your bag, put it into your beer, leave it for, I think it's the end of fermentation, take them out, and the hops help to create a bit more of a flavour in your beer. Don't think they improve alcohol percentage. I don't know, they don't improve alcohol percentage. It just improves flavour, but if you are doing something that you want to give it a bit more of an experiment with hops, fantastic. You can get these on eBay, they're not very much, in all honesty. I haven't seen them in Wilco, I don't think they do them, but yeah, pretty cheap. Awesome, there we go. Another thing that some people don't take into account is this, Vaseline. Now, don't worry, this isn't going to be like some kind of like porno. It's not used for anything like that. Now, what people use this for is for your tabs and your seals. It basically just helps give it a bit of a coating to help you A, stop over tightening it, and B, help to lube it up, which is fantastic, which is what you want. Another bit of kit I'm going to show you. Now my back is going to be to the camera a little bit and I might go off scene, so I do apologise. Be as quick as I can. Last but not least is if you are on my Instagram, you have followed me, you know what this is. If you're not, this is a homemade bottle rack. Now I used just some, as you can see, just some plain old pine. I got it from work. Drilled some holes, sanded it down, and we're capable of being able to drain sanitised bottles. Roughly about 24 bottles we're able to drain, and yeah, I made it. As you can see, it's got legs there, it's sanded down, it's really nice and smooth. I even did inside of the holes. Got 3 screws there, we've got little reinforcement triangles right in there, which also helps support the weight. Now, you can get, put that down, you can get bottle racks and bottle draining trees on eBay and online. Now they can vary between about 16 to £20. Always a bit of a tight arse. I couldn't really be bothered to sort of go messing about, waiting for the delivery and pay between 16 and £20 just to drain some bottles. So I made my own, and it's fantastic. I really like it. It took me about overall it took me about 3 hours to make. I did it in my break times, and it took me about 4 to 5 days. But you got to remember, my breaks were about half an hour. So yeah, I did it about 3 hours, and it took me about 3 to 4 days. I was quite happy with it. Also, the sense of pride you get out of actually making something towards a hobby that you're really going to potentially enjoy is fantastic. Now, I'm going to finish it up here with just saying about second-hand kit. Second-hand kit is fantastic. It can be hard to find a good bargain though. I mean, a lot of people don't like to send it out because of the fact they've got to pay for the postage and packaging. The packaging can be quite big and bulky. Another thing about second-hand is you've got to make sure that you've got confidence in what you're buying. Because of that, you can't go to someone and say, look, this is broken, it's still under warranty or something, I just bought it from your company and I need to send it back. Some people can be arseholes and just say, look, either you're not having your money back or they won't reply to you. eBay do have a policy where they can talk to the person that you might have got the equipment from. You will usually get your money back, but it can be difficult. So just watch out for that. And obviously, if you get your kit brand new, then you obviously know who to go to. It is entirely up to you guys. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you aren't already a subscriber, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Thank you very much. Happy brewing, guys. See you soon.